Okay guys, so we've had an eventful past few days. So we're going to be talking about what happens next. What's next for PulseChain, PulseX, Hex, and the entire ecosystems, right? So we know that Richard Hart got sued by the SEC, and then all hell broke loose, right? With everyone giving their opinions, saying exactly what they think about what's going on and what will happen moving forward. Uniswap removed Hex from its front end, from its application. And that will have massive implications for Uniswap, because it means that they're deciding to become a centralized player in the crypto space. They're deciding to take responsibility for the assets that are traded on Uniswap. And we started to see a lot of people in the crypto community start to delete Uniswap and start to say that we will not be using this anymore, which I think is the right move, because you're either for decentralization or you're not. If you've got many projects that are launching every minute, every hour, that are scams, and then you decide to now start policing them, well then now you're a centralized player. You're not decentralized anymore. Now, in regards to PulseChain, PulseX, we've seen prices drop significantly, right? But we're also seeing the community coming together. This is massive. And I think that we're going to find a bottom. I don't know where we find a bottom. I would think if I was a guessing person, I would say we're pretty close to the bottom or at the bottom right now for PulseX. But there's absolutely no way to know. But even if we go lower, we will find a bottom, and from there we'll only have one direction left, that is to the upside. Now, for those who didn't sacrifice, now you have an opportunity to get coins at a really huge discount. And for those who have dry powder, you now have an opportunity to get coins at a really good discount. I do think PulseChain, after it finds a floor, we will be headed straight to the moon. Now we got to look at Richard Hart. What do we think Richard Hart will do, right? I want to take a look at, if you go on Richard Hart's Twitter, right, on the top of it says, Richard doesn't read messages, emails, newspapers, magazines, letters, communication of any form, or listen to the radio, or nearly anything else. Stay humble. Now, according to this post, this might mean that there's a chance that Richard Hart has not heard about what's going on. And the question that I would have for anyone who maybe is in the legal field, that if you're not served with any of this information, what does that mean, right? If you don't know that there is this information out there, what does that mean? So that is that one thing to think about, that I don't think there's a clear answer to how that could be resolved. But all in all, if we're looking at PulseChain, if we're looking at the ecosystem, I think that the ecosystem will flourish. I think that shaking out weekends is an important thing. The reason why I say this is this, right? I think from judging from where I'm looking right now, the community shifted a great deal, because we onboarded massive amounts of people. There's almost 100,000 people who sacrificed for PulseX, and majority of these were definitely non-Hexican people, were people who saw what Hex did and they were like, look, second opportunity to get the same gains, let me take a bet on this. And I think that's why we had massive divisions and different directions. Plus, anytime you have massive growth of a community, different interests start to pop up, right? So, but unfortunately, this event that is happening now is washing out all those people who are not really hardcore, dedicated believers. However, even as we shake those out and we're left with lesser people, and then we have an upside only, we start onboarding again. I think next time we onboard, we have to start to understand that when you get to a certain size, definitely how the community interacts has to change, because you're now a lot bigger and you now have different interests. You're now moving in different directions. It will be interesting to see how that can be navigated. And it'll be nice to also maybe look at what has happened with how communities like Bitcoin have evolved, how communities like Ethereum have evolved, and all that other good stuff. Because Bitcoin did evolve, and it also did have some really significant moments where there were massive shifts. Right, you talk about the Bitcoin Cash split. You talk about the scaling debates. You talk about all of that stuff. You talk about when Ethereum was created, right? Because obviously there was also talk about, let's bring that kind of stuff on Bitcoin. So there's always shifts, and it's always good to know how to manage when those moments do come. Anyway, guys, so those are my thoughts for this. I think that we will find a floor, and then from there we can only go to the upside. I think PulseChain is here to stay. The community has decided. You can just go on Twitter and read, and you'll understand that, look, there's a strong core base that is moved by all of this. And then with lower prices are an advantage for onboarding. That's just reality. Lower prices are an advantage for onboarding. Once a coin is too big, there is this perception that too big to pump. There is this perception of Bitcoin that Bitcoin can't pump anymore because the market cap is too big. So with where we are right now, I think the low prices are good for onboarding new people. I think that we have a core base that is strong, that is not going anywhere. So I think from this point, we can only go to the upside. Now, having said that, we gotta give you the good old disclaimers, right? You need your big boy pants for this one. Crypto can go up a lot and it can also go down a lot, right? So game changing, it's an opportunity for game changing wealth. Now we're gonna go back to start revisiting the argument of, can Pulse 100x, can Pulse 10x, can it 1000x, right? Because the lower prices means we have a bigger upside. Unfortunately, look, I would have wished I had some dry powder to scoop up this, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. And again, not financial advice. I'll see you again next time.